Great day, everybody. I'm Sherri McIntosh, and this is the King and Two Queens podcast, where hosts David Carruthers, Karen Penn, and myself talk about how to power up relationships. So let's get into it. Good evening, everybody. This is Queen Sherri, and I am in the house with Queen Karen and King David.
Woo-hoo.
We are the co-hosts of the King and Two Queens podcast, and we welcome you to the airwaves.
Welcome.
So today we're going to be dealing with a subject called Can We Talk? So before we do that, I would like to introduce
The Time Tunnel.
Do you remember a snippet of this song?
Can we talk for a minute? Girl, I want to know your name.
So again, our topic for today is Can We Talk? It's a lost art. You know, social media has gotten in, and please understand, technology is a great thing. It works great for businesses, and that's all well and good. But at the same time, it has made us lazy, because instead of face-to-face conversations, we're getting on Zoom, we're getting, video chats and text messages, and we're not really connecting. So I have some questions. Question number one, why have we lost the art of communication? What are your thoughts?
King.
You always go to me first.
So don't go to you first.
No, that's fine. That's funny. I think it's like what you said, Sherri. I think that unfortunately, society follows the media, and we're talking less because that's kind of where the media is taking us. The problem with that is that we're not understanding that we're losing essence. Like, we're not getting to know one another anymore. We're just fine with, let me DM you, let me give you a shot in my Facebook, let me say this. We're losing the essence and the art of communication. Thus, I always say we got more singles today than ever before in history. That's one of the reasons why.
That's a good point. What about you, Karen?
I agree with you, David. And what you were saying also, Sherri. I believe, however, we've lost it because people are afraid. People are afraid to connect on an intimate, personal, close. It's safe. And people don't get to see who you really are. People don't want you to know, I guess. It seems like. So I think there's fear.
That's an interesting take on it. And I agree with both of you. Here's my thought. People in general always want to put their best foot forward. So there's fear in the background because they don't really want you to get close enough so that they can really know intimately who you are. And when I say intimately, I don't mean sexually. So here's my train of thought. We basically are uncomfortable with people knowing who we really are. So social media kind of takes away that mystique factor in terms of trying to find out who you really are. And even if you do meet somebody in person, keep in mind that you're going to put your best foot forward. So even if there is, some things in the background that you'd rather people not know, you're hiding it. And you're dealing with a person with a smile, and you're talking about the best aspects of yourself. So you're absolutely right. People are uncomfortable with sharing the deep things because you don't want to scare people away from you, especially if you're single.
I don't know. I wonder if people want to put their best foot forward anymore. I don't think people really care, I guess. People want to be the way they are. And so if they're uncomfortable with being the way they are, they avoid people so that they can be the way they are, back in the day, it was important to be impressionable and make good first impressions, particularly on a job. But when it came to people, well, today, not necessarily so. People preserve that for getting a job. There's a goal. Maybe people will put their best foot forward if they're trying to meet the opposite sex. But when you're normally yourself, I guess if you find a friend that likes the way you are, you can be yourself. You're not trying to put your best foot forward for everybody to think so highly and greatly of you. I don't think people do that today. I don't know.
Well, I think you made a powerful point in that, social media gives the opportunity for people to hide. It's sad. And when I mean hide, I don't just mean, I don't know where it came from in terms of just this thing of just not being comfortable with being you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know where and why we lost that. You know what I'm saying? Where it's just where there is this, hey, this is me and this is okay, and this is you and this is okay. We've lost that. We're hiding, and what that means in essence is that we really haven't learned how to love ourselves. Because if we did, we wouldn't be hiding behind social.
Exactly. You hit the nail right on the head, David.
Hey everyone, this is Karen Penn, and I have an announcement for you. Are your relationships complicated? Are you tired of being alone? Do you need support on refocusing and maximizing your potential? Start a new journey with one of our certified life coaches to help you find balance and learn how to engage in more meaningful relationships. Connect with us at akingandtwoqueens@gmail.com. That's spelled a king, the letter N, the number 2, and the word queens @gmail.com.
It goes back to self-esteem, because we see famous people and on the surface it appears that they have it all together, and you might say, oh, you know what, I like her hairstyle, let me try to cut my hair a certain way or add some hair a certain way so that I can look like them. But when we look in the mirror, we're unhappy, and that's not a good thing, because no matter where you go, there you are. So
yeah.
So no matter how you change things about yourself so that other people can accept you, the reality is you need to accept yourself first. Learn who you are, learn how to love yourself, and then that confidence will exude outward, and then you won't be afraid for people to know who you are.
I guess.
Okay.
I guess. I don't know. There's just a lot of fear. I have to go back to the fear factor. And like David said, why? Who knows? Why are you afraid to be yourselves? People can be very judgmental. Also, there's like social things you shouldn't do. So to avoid dotting every I, crossing every T, you're like, I'm going to hide because then I can be me. I don't have to comply to all these rules, if you will, to be accepted. Acceptance is big. So if you find you can't be accepted, you may be the type of person that says, well, then I'll just hide so I can be myself because I'll be accepted of me.
But if you hide, you're not being yourself.
You are, according to you, because you're free to do what you want without any judgment from anyone else, because that's why you don't feel free to be yourself. Maybe you're afraid that people are going to judge you. So to avoid that, stay hidden. People try to get close, inbox you, type things, text things. You keep it minimal because it might, they might come in and see who you are, and you might not be accepted.
Generally, people may or may not accept you, or they may or may not like who you are. What has to happen within ourselves is that it's okay, because everybody isn't going to like us. It's kind of a fantasy to think that everybody on the planet is going to like Sherri, like everybody loves me. No, that is absolutely the furthest from the truth. There are going to be people who don't like you for whatever reason. Maybe they don't like your personality. Maybe they just think you're too happy, you're too bubbly. Maybe they're jealous. So what?
Right. Well, we're talking about communication, just plain old talking to people. We want to avoid that.
Mm-hmm.
And you're just talking. Whether somebody's going to like you or not, can you talk? It's just talking. It's not anything else. We don't have to get married. You don't have to be my best friend, besties. We're just talking.
Yeah. And that's the quickest and easiest way to get to know somebody. Right. So you can make the determination as to whether you like them or not, or they like you or not.
Right.
So moving on to the next question. Social media has taken the place of face-to-face, and I mean offline conversations. Does this make you more or less comfortable with talking to the opposite sex?
Well, I think it's become more comfortable. We're looking for comfortability today and convenience. It's easy to text somebody than it is to get dressed up, go meet them. Got to put your mask on now. I don't know. I think it's become more comfortable, if you will. Is it good? No, I don't think so. But it's become more comfortable to talk to the opposite sex. Yes, you don't have to do anything. And you can pretend. You can be fake. It's to avoid that closeness, that, getting to really know someone. You can avoid it as long as possible. Why? Who knows? Who knows?
Sure to be fake.
Yeah, I think it's unfortunately it's made it so my friend has this saying. He says, "This is the day of the cowards," and what he means by that is that people are hiding behind social media, and they're not presenting their real selves. We've lost a lot of essence. We've lost a lot of communication. We've lost a lot of even the ability to be ourselves because we're not talking. So it's easier, unfortunately, to hide. In terms of the opposite sex, what we've made easier is the fact that we don't have it. No, let me say it like this. It's harder now to have real communication and real relationships because we're hiding behind social media. So in essence, social media has made it more difficult because you got catfishing, you got all kinds of stuff. You got people that only want to talk via messenger or via text. They don't want to talk
because it's comfortable. It has become comfortable and convenient, I would say. Comfortable and convenient. We like comfort, convenience.
Yeah, we do like comfort. We love comfort. But that comfort in essence, in deep, has become more uncomfortable because now we're like, I'm alone and I'm always alone.
And you don't know how to talk. You can't let go of your gadget even when you are in the presence of somebody. Like you don't know what to do after a while.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
what about when we didn't have that? When we didn't have the gadgets?
Right. Well, it's gonna take discipline in order for us, if we're serious about having good friendships, having good relationships, and having something that is substantial. We're gonna have to put some work in. and be honest with ourselves.
Mm. Hey everyone, we just got to take a quick commercial break right here. So sit tight, we'll be right back. This is Karen Penn, and I have an announcement for you. Are your relationships complicated? Are you tired of being alone? Do you need support on refocusing and maximizing your potential? Start a new journey with one of our certified life coaches to help you find balance and learn how to engage in more meaningful relationships. Connect with us at akingandtwoqueens@gmail.com. That's spelled a king, the letter N, the number 2, and the word queens @gmail.com.
I find that people don't want to do the work because they think it's too hard. They think that, presenting themselves as who they really are will scare other people off, or people will be judgmental. And I say, baby, people are going to be judgmental regardless. So do you, be you, because at the end of the day, you have to like what you see when you look in the mirror, regardless of whether anybody else does.
Right. And not only that, at the end of the day too, you got to take a hard look at you, at your life, and say, what is it that I want? And am I getting it? Am I getting it? And if you're not getting it, then you need to do the necessary work to say, okay, everybody's going left, but I think I should go right because everybody's alone and I don't want to be alone. You know what I mean? You got to put in your necessary work to get what you want in life.
Mm-hmm.
I tell my clients all the time, if you don't like what you see when you look in the mirror, only you can change it.
Right.
That's true.
What do you think needs to happen in order to get back to basics with regards to men and women having a conversation in person? Therefore, ditching electronics, i.e. text messages, video calls, etc.
I'll have an answer, but I'll wait.
Okay, well, I'll go first again. Again, it's really about, being honest with what you want. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that there are, one of the frustrating things about dating today is that, I've been on dates or I've talked to someone and I'm like, this is it. Like, this is it. I'm not too sure. We're both 40 plus, so I'm not too sure if you're waiting for some big thing to happen in the sky. You know what I'm saying? And people would rather bow to the fear as opposed to saying, okay, this is what I want. I'm going for what I want. I'm going to say it, and I'm going to say it, and then let it be what it is, as opposed to knowing that this is a good thing, knowing that we have a good connection, and we both go home, and you're not saying anything because you're afraid. That's corny, man.
It is corny. I think so, David. Absolutely. What a waste of time.
Oh, what a waste.
Especially when time is not on your side,
Right, exactly.
You're 20 years old, you figure you got some time.
We can do that at 20. We can't do that at 40.
It's double. At age 40, you got to make some quick decisions because another 20 years can pass quickly.
Mm-hmm.
You could be in the same boat. So my take is we're not going to be able to get rid of electronics. So why not maximize on it? Maximize on the use of it by learning the art of communicating with words. Words to the point that you want to see each other. Choice of word. Often texting, emails, anything electronic communication, you have to be careful what your word choices are. I had someone tell me that they used to always use capital letters in their emails. And so a person responded to them and says, "Why are you yelling at me all the time?" Because they had all capital letters in the email, but it was easy to keep it on the shift key and type and not go up and down for sentences. So we need to take advantage of that and take some time to be careful with our word choices. I wanted to use an example of being a queen married to a king. We get upset sometimes, and then we're just doing texting. But we can switch it around and say some other things that next thing you know, we're going to meet up. So we can use it to our advantage. We can make texts that say, we ask each other, "How you doing? What are you doing?" Nothing. Because we're mad. You can switch it around and say, "Well, I don't know. Maybe you could come and find out." Because we're trying to, you switch it around to make a connection. So I say, use it to our advantage with our word choices, because words are powerful.
Yes, they are.
They are very powerful. So someone can read something and get mad. Well, someone can read something and feel a whole nother kind of way.
Mhm.
Where you say, "Oh, well, then maybe we can meet up."
Right, but also, there's the song, Eric Badu, she says, "I can make you put your phone down."
I bet
can
she
make-
could.
Yeah,
Erica Badu, yeah, I bet she could.
we have to get to using discipline and saying, "Let's put the phone down," because honestly, I don't want you. If we're both in the same house, don't you dare text me.
Oh yeah, we definitely.
Don't you dare text me.
Listen, that's better than not talking at all. You can use what we have today to our advantages. We got emojis that make all
But no,
kinds of
no,
things.
we're abusing it though. We're abusing it. It's not. We're abusing it.
I think that would maximize and not say, "Let's throw these things away and let's go back to 1920."
No one's saying that. No one's saying that. No one's saying that.
Go back to the way it was and let's communicate. And I had a great grandmother that said a guy would come courting, and he would come and everybody sat, and the whole family sat in the living room and talked. Like, we can't go back to that.
Yes, we can.
We can't. That's impossible.
Listen, I'm not. Well, listen, I'm not. I'm not. Listen, I'm not doing this. What we're doing today, I'm not doing it because it's not effective.
You could miss out. I'm saying that
I'm not going to miss out. I'm not going to miss out.
and turn it into, a lot of things.
Sure. Listen, I communicate with some people all over the world via messenger. So I'm not, but I'm assuming what Sherri is saying and what we're saying with this podcast is that we need to go back to talking more so that we can establish friendships. You can't connect with someone who you're only connecting with them via text or via messenger.
So wrapping up, what I believe that we're all saying is that, yes, we need to take some time out from social media and reconnect with talking face to face. Not Snapchat, not Instagram, not Facebook, not Zoom, Skype or whatever social media where you can do a video conference call. I'm talking about being in someone's presence. So we can look at each other eyeball to eyeball and know that, we're getting the real deal. So that's basically what we're trying to say today. Take some time out, carve some time out of your busy schedule and get to know people in person. Find out their interests. Ask them what kind of ice cream they like. Things like that. Keep it simple. So, ending thoughts.
Go, Karen, go.
Go, Karen, go. Okay, Queen Karen, closing thoughts. I'm going to reiterate, learn the art of words, utilize what we have so that we can move forward and not get stuck with it ain't the way it should be and the way I want it to be. Let's move forward so we can begin to connect with some folks.
And to reiterate on the last thing she said, I think the key to talking is that we connect. I think that the more we talk, the more we'll have honest communication. And the more we have honest communication, the more it will allow your freedom to come and the other person's freedom to come, and it will allow the relationship to flourish.
I love it. I love it. So with that, we are signing off. And for Queen Karen and King David, we are out, and we will see you next time on a King and Two Queens podcast.
Can we talk?